It was a warm summer evening on July 1st, 2000, when 8-year-old Sarah Payne was last seen playing joyfully with her siblings in a quiet field in Kingston Gorse, West Sussex. The countryside was calm, the air filled with laughter as Sarah and her brothers and sister ran through the golden fields. For her parents, this was supposed to be a carefree visit to their grandparents, a place filled with happy memories and the safety of rural life. But in a matter of moments, everything changed. Sarah, running ahead of the group, vanished without a sound. 1 second she was there, the next, gone. No scream, no struggle, just silence. Her disappearance would ignite a desperate search and send shockwaves through the entire UK. Panic set in quickly. Sarah's parents, Michael and Sarah Payne, searched frantically along the paths and fields where their daughter had been playing. They called her name into the growing darkness, hoping she had simply wandered off and would come running back. But she didn't. The police were called, and within hours, what started as a frantic family search turned into a full-scale investigation. Officers combed through fields, ditches, and nearby roads, but there was no trace of Sarah. Volunteers joined the effort, their flashlights piercing the darkness as they called out her name. But the countryside was eerily quiet. As hours turned into days, hope began to wane. The community feared the worst. Had Sarah been kidnapped? And if so, by who? News of Sarah's disappearance spread like wildfire. TV reports, newspapers, and radio stations all carried her image, a sweet-faced, blonde-haired little girl with an innocent smile. Thousands of flyers were distributed across the country, urging anyone who had seen her to come forward. Sarah's mother, Sarah Payne, made a heartbreaking appeal on national television. Her voice shook as she pleaded, "Please, if you know anything, if you've seen anything, bring our little girl home." The public rallied behind the family, and for a moment, there was hope. But as days turned into weeks, the harsh reality set in. Sarah was not coming back alive. As police continued their search, a name surfaced: Roy Whiting, a 41-year-old man with a dark past. He was a convicted pedophile, previously jailed in 1995 for kidnapping and sexually assaulting a 9-year-old girl. Shockingly, he had only served 4 years in prison before being released. Whiting lived just a few miles from the area where Sarah disappeared. Witnesses reported seeing his white van in the vicinity that evening, but when questioned by police, he denied everything. He claimed he had been at a fun fair the night Sarah went missing. However, police weren't convinced. Whiting had a history of deception and violence, and detectives suspected he was lying. But without solid evidence, they couldn't arrest him. Not yet. 17 days after Sarah disappeared on July 17th, 2000, a disturbing discovery was made in a shallow grave near Pulborough, 15 miles away from where she was last seen. Sarah's lifeless body was found partially buried in a wooded area, her small frame hidden beneath dirt and leaves. The search for Sarah had ended, but in the worst possible way. Her parents' worst fears had become a heartbreaking reality. The entire nation mourned. A beautiful, innocent child had been stolen, her life cut short by a monster in disguise. With Sarah's body discovered, police intensified their investigation into Roy Whiting. They needed solid proof to link him to the crime, and soon they got it. Forensic analysis uncovered crucial evidence. A strand of Sarah's hair was found inside Whiting's van. Fibers from Sarah's clothing matched those found in the vehicle. Witness statements placed him near the area at the time of the abduction. This was the break police needed. In October 2000, Whiting was arrested and charged with Sarah Payne's murder. The trial began in 2001, and the evidence against Whiting was overwhelming. The court heard how he had lured Sarah into his van and taken her to a remote location where he ended her life. The prosecution painted a horrifying picture of what had happened that night. and the jury sat in stunned silence as the case unfolded. On December 12, 2001, the verdict was delivered: guilty. Roy Whiting was sentenced to life in prison, where he remains to this day. Justice had been served, but for Sarah's family, the pain of loss would never fade. Sarah Payne's tragic murder sparked a national movement. Her mother, Sarah Payne, turned her grief into action. She became a powerful advocate for child safety and campaigned for a new law to protect children from predators like Whiting. Her efforts led to the creation of Sarah's Law, a system allowing parents to check if someone with access to their child has a history of sexual offenses. Sarah's Law has since helped countless families stay informed and protect their children. Though nothing could bring Sarah back, her story has saved lives. More than 2 decades have passed. But Sarah Payne's story still haunts the UK. Her face remains etched in the minds of those who followed the case. Her tragic fate serves as a grim reminder of the dangers that lurk in the shadows and of the power of a mother's love to spark change. As the years go by, Sarah's name lives on, not just as a victim, but as a symbol of strength, protection, and justice.